Today we are doing lesson 4.5, arithmetic sequences. In 1 Peter 2:21, please copy down the reference, not the scripture. To this you are called because Christ suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow in his steps. So Jesus was our example to show us the pattern that we should follow in our lives, to show us how we should live in order to have a God-fearing, God-following life. In math, we use patterns all the time. Well, specific patterns can be called sequences. A sequence is a set of numbers ordered according to a distinguishable pattern. The set can either be finite or infinite. Finite means that it stops, or it's a limited set, and infinite means it goes on forever. Now, a conjecture is a generalized statement that seems to be true at all times. So if we have the pattern below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ... By the way, the ... is called an ellipsis. Okay, that's what those dots mean. Okay, right there, that's your ellipsis. Well, a conjecture would be a statement that would be able to tell us what the next number would be. A generalized statement that seems to be true. It seems that in this pattern, every number is going up by 1. So the next number would be an 8. So that would be the conjecture. Okay, a couple of more vocabulary words. A term is a number in a sequence. An arithmetic sequence is a sequence of numbers, each differing by a constant amount. And a common difference, D, is the difference between successive terms of an arithmetic sequence. So it's the difference that's going to occur in that sequence. Now, two more things that you need to know. A subscript 1 means it's the first term in the sequence. A subscript n is a number in a sequence where n represents the position of the term. I will explain what that means with the first example. Here's example number 1. It says, find the following values for the sequence 5, 9, 13, 17, 21, 25, 29, 33, ... What is the common difference between the numbers? How do you go from 5 to 9, from 9 to 13, from 13 to 17, etc.? Well, the answer is you add 4. So the common difference here is plus 4. What is the first term in the sequence? First term is identified by A subscript 1. Well, the first term is the one, obviously, that's in the front. So your first term here is 5. Now it asks for the fifth term. You know it's asking for the fifth term because it has a subscript of 5. So if you count and go through it, what is the fifth term in this sequence? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the fifth term in the sequence is 21. And now we're looking for the 10th term. Again, if you count in the sequence, you should be able to figure it out. So if we go through the sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, how would I find the next term? I would add 4. So the next term in my sequence would be 37. And that would be the 9th term. But I'm asking for the 10th term. So again, add 4. The next term would be 41. So the 10th term in the sequence is 41. Now, if we have a different sequence and it says, write the first 6 terms of the sequence in which A1 is 20 and D is -2. We're telling you start with 20 and every term after it take 2 away. So if we're starting with 20, our very first number will be 20. And then if I take 2 away, the next number would be 18. Then if I take 2 away, my number will be 16. Continue that pattern until you have 6 numbers. And you can see we now have the first 6 terms in the sequence. Okay, now this formula is what we're going to use to find some term within a sequence. An explicit formula for an arithmetic sequence is a subscript n equals a subscript 1 plus parentheses n minus 1 times d, where n is the position of the number in the sequence, so that n is here and it's here, right? And the d over here is the common difference, and a subscript 1 is the first term in the problem, okay, or the first term in the sequence, and that appears there. Now let's look at this pattern. We have -7, -4, -1, 2, 5, 8. If I was asking you to find a number in the pattern or a number in the sequence, there are two things you need to find first. First, you need to find a sub 1, and you need to find d, the common difference. You cannot solve the problem or find any other terms without doing that. So if I give you a sub 1 and I ask you to find it, what is the first term in this pattern? Well, the first term in this pattern is -7. Okay. Then I want to find the common difference. How do I go from -7 to -4? From -4 to -1? From -1 to +2? From +2 to +5? Well, each time the number is going up by 3. Now that I have found my first term and my common difference, I can write the formula that I can use to solve for this particular sequence. Remember, the formula is a subscript n is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. Well, we have now found two of the numbers that we need for the pattern. We have found a sub 1 and d. So let's replace in the formula those two numbers. So we have a sub n is equal to a sub 1 is 7 plus n minus 1, and d is 3. That is the formula that we can use to find any number in this sequence. So for example, let's say we want to find the number for n equals 10. So I want the 10th number in the pattern. We would write it as a sub 10 is equal to 7 plus n is 10 minus 1 times 3. Now we can solve it and find the number in the pattern. Well, 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27, and 27 plus 7 is 34. So the 10th term in the pattern is 34. We can do that for any number in that pattern. So let's try another one. If we said n equals 15, it would be a sub 15 is equal to 7 is still our first number, plus put the 15 in place of the n, minus 1 is 3. Then you would do, bring down the 7, plus 15 minus 1 is 14 times 3. 7 plus 14 times 3 is 42, and then 7 plus 42 is 49. So the 15th term in the sequence is 49. Okay, what I'd like you to do is use this example to find the first term, the common difference, then I would like you to set up the formula, and then I would also like you to find the 15th term. Please pause the video and take a moment to see if you can answer these questions. Okay, a sub 1 is asking you to find the first term in the sequence. Well, the first term in the sequence is here. The first term in the sequence then is 10. D is asking you to find the common difference. How do you go from 10 to 15, from 15 to 20, from 20 to 25. Well, every single time you're going up by 5, so it's plus 5. Now we need to write the formula. The formula that you would use would be A subscript n is equal to A1 plus n minus 1 times d. Well, we know the first term is 10. We don't know what n is because that's what we'll find later on. And d is 5. So there is the formula that you would use. But now if I want to find the 15th term, anywhere where I see an n, I'm going to replace 15. So A subscript 15 is equal to 10 plus 15 minus 1 times 5. If we do the math, 10 plus 14 times 5 is equal to 10 plus 14 times 5 is 70. And then if we add together 10 plus 70, I get 80. So the 15th term is 80. That concludes our lesson for today. I hope you have enough information so that you can solve those problems. Please write down any questions that you have and we will go over it in class tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.